mentioning that this is the first time that an effort like this has been put to see how we can use the virtual technology to connect the elevator escalator industry globally. And we are quite happy with the outcome. We had more than people from 74 countries who logged in to see what we are doing in India. And I think this is a good way moving forward. Definitely, like I said, in my initial remark, that we cannot replace a physical event because it has its own charm of meeting people and greeting people, handshakes and the whole kiosk which is around when we do a large event. But I think given the scenario with the pandemic today, I think this is the best thing which we should adapt and utilize and connect with the industry. So I'm really happy to come to the third day of this event, and the first session today we have is on challenges and opportunity of procuring made in India components. We have very eminent speakers with us from the industry with great experience, and I welcome all my panelists, and I would like to introduce each one of them to you before we start the session. Let me start with Mr. Arun Panchal. He is the Vice President, Product Development and Product Lifecycle Management at TK Elevators, formerly known as ThyssenKrupp Elevator. He has done his mechanical engineering from VJTI Mumbai. He has more than 17 years of experience in TK Elevators under different capacities. He joined them as a manager handling contract, execution and project management. With his sheer dedication, knowledge and expertise, he took over leadership positions like Deputy General Manager, Engineering and Logistics Center, Deputy General Manager, Product Lifecycle Management, Associate Vice President, Product Lifecycle Management. His previous position was with Bharat Bijlee in India. Thank you so much, Mr. Panchal, for joining us.
Thank you, Anita. Good morning, all.
Good morning. My next panelist is Mr. V. Muralidhar. He is the Chief Financial Officer at Fujitec India Limited. He has, graduated from Sri Satya Sai University, Prashanti Nilayam. He has over 31 years of experience in the automobile and elevator industry. He started his career with Rane Group, manufacturer of engine valve in Bangalore, and served for 22 years there. This was followed by 4 years with Deepak Cables and presently with Fujitec India for past 5 years. Sir, welcome. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation.
Thank you.
My next panelist is Anurag Gupta. He's a managing director and partner at Arcal Electronic India Private Limited. He has profound know-how about elevator control and drive technology and has over 18 years of professional experience. The latest global innovation from Arcal Monoblock Lift Control Unit, R-Cube, was his brainchild. He aims to lead the digitization of elevator industry and believes internet-connected smart elevators are going to be the next big thing in the industry. Thank you, Anurag, and I wish you all the best with your penetration into the digital space. My last panelist is Mr. Subramaniam Bhartiya. He's the Strategic Marketing Manager for Elevators at Innovance. He holds a degree in Electronics and Communication Engineering. He joined Innovance in 2012. He started his elevator career in 2002 as a junior engineer with TK Elevator Division. He has since then gained extensive experience across elevator industry, including at Schindler and Otis, where he was involved in various technical activities, including installation, commissioning, maintenance, and product quality and safety. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And now coming to our moderator, Mr. Krishna Kumar. I'm sure everyone knows Krishna Kumar very well, and it's our honor to be associated with him. Krishna Kumar is the director of PAPL, and he's a mechanical engineer by profession. And was trained in erection, testing, and commissioning of elevators. After a successful tenure in sales and installation, KK moved to Mitsubishi Elevator, where he handled Tamil Nadu and Kerala. He joined PAPL in 2009 after spending close to 11 years in the industry. PAPL is the first and only accredited inspection body in the exclusive domain of VHT. So thank you, KK, and over to you now.
Thank you very much, Anita, and welcome all panelists. And I think we have a good mix of people with varied experience in the manufacturing and allied works. Now, I would like to begin this panel discussion with one small note. Actually, in September 2014, Prime Minister Modi launched the Make in India campaign. This is one of the major campaigns started with an objective to set up manufacturing units and to increase export rate and lower the import rate in India. And this also had an objective of improving the foreign investment in the country, in manufacturing sector especially. The skilled labor force, ease of doing business, good infrastructure, and lower manufacturing costs are some of the basic prerequisites for success of this Make in India campaign. I think this is one of the most passionately driven campaigns. I think we have seen a lot of events that were organized across the globe to attract investors. Our intention in this panel discussion is to understand how the elevator industry has embraced the idea and to what extent have these objectives been reached, especially with respect to manufacturing elevators in the country. And I would like to start, let us make this panel discussion more of a group discussion rather than an interview kind of a setup. So I'll be moderating this. I will start my questioning. First, I would like to ask Arun Panchal this question. India's quest for self-reliance has led to a very ambitious project called Make in India. How far has the elevator industry come in fulfilling the ambition?
Yeah, hello, KK. So I think we all know that India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world, and businesses can't ignore India. When we talk about the elevator companies, I think during the last 15-20 years, I think almost all the global key players are already there in India, and they already have their manufacturing base in India. And of course, with this Make in India campaign, I think that has gathered a lot of focus and attention to the elevator industry. Yeah, of course, all the companies have their strategies and plans in place, to go with this campaign and increase their dominance in the market with the Made in India components. However, we still have a lot of dependency on the international players. But I think all the elevator companies are working towards it, and they have their strategies and plan in place. And I think soon we would be able to meet the requirements fully.
Thank you, Arun. I would like to ask Subramaniam, you are one of the manufacturing companies in India, so component elevators. What is your take on that?
Subra, you are on mute. Subra, can you please unmute yourself first?
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, actually, after the PM initiated this, the Make in India concept in 2014. So we can see, many companies, putting up their manufacturing and expanding, and not only the elevator manufacturer, even the component manufacturer also expanding, all across in India. And now we can see, compared to the 10 years in a decade before, and now we can see many elevator company, they can able to assemble the entire elevator in India. Yeah, still as Mr. Arun mentioned, there are some of the parts we still rely on the international community to supply us. Yeah, but sooner or later, I think it will be quite faster, because the business in India is expanding quite faster phase, and everybody is now started making the product in in India, so to get the benefit of the government, whatever the initiative they have taken up. And especially after the COVID period, and we can see the tremendous, the move for the Make in India concept all across, every industries, and especially elevator industries. Definitely, yeah, this is good, time, the right time for even elevator company as well as the component supplier to put up their entire facility in India. So the expansion is going on, and possibly post COVID, we can see a major changes in the industry.
Thank you, Subramaniam. Mr. Anurag, your views, please, on this.
Yeah, so as Mr. Arun and Mr. Subramaniam put it, there are a lot of opportunities now coming way after Make in India initiative. To tell you about ourselves, we established our subsidiary in 2018 in India, in Gujarat, where we are employing more than 50 people currently to produce lift control solutions. And we have been following the Make in India initiative from the first day of our inception. And our plans are to further increase investment in India and to further expand our manufacturing footprint. So I truly believe that India is the right place to be, and I hope that we will continue to grow stronger here.
Thank you, Mr. Anurag. Mr. Muralidhar, I want a different perspective from you because you come from a finance background. So what is your take on that?
Actually, when we say this elevator market in India, it is the second largest market for elevators and escalators in the world, India, according to some of the analysts. And this sector has got huge, it's actually linked to the construction industry. So with the construction industry's rise due to the increase in the number of multi-storied residential and commercial buildings and buildings across the country and increasing urbanization, so this industry has got a great potential, and it is anticipated that it will grow even by maybe $2 billion by 23. So this is what the expectation, and this projected growth in the residential segment, it is the principal contributor to the construction industry. So this low cost, affordable housing, it's going to be a big aspect. And the industry investments in the infrastructure and commercial projects and increased focus on developing increased modernization, airports, development of these metro rail projects, all these railway stations, these all they will all offer a lot of opportunities in the manufacturing segments in the long term to come.
Thank you, Mr. Muralidhar. Again, my second question is again to everybody. I will start with Mr. Arun again. What is the positive impact of this move? Do you see the market accepting the Make in India products?
Yeah, during this last 6 years, I would say, there has been increased focus and attention by the global players, and particularly the investment on the R&D and manufacturing side has increased considerably. And, we all elevator companies are developing the strategies to, increase our dominance with the Made in India products. Of course, when we talk about a Made in India product, it is not just the, the component which is manufactured in India, but also we have to, come at par with the international standards. So in short, we have to deliver a very safe, quality and reliable products to the Indian market. So and when we talk about the supplier side, I think the small, medium, big suppliers have also strategies in place to increase their manufacturing capabilities with the lean and efficient processes, automation. So they are also gearing up to compete with the international players. Yeah, of course, as I said, we always have that price challenge. But when we talk about Make in India, it also has some positive impacts, like you have reduced lead times, you have to carry less inventories of the imported components. And of course, you get away with the risk of this foreign exchange and the ocean freight fluctuations. And especially, as Subramanian said, during the COVID times, I think the ocean freight and the foreign exchange rate has become so volatile that it is impacting heavily. And yeah, when we talk about society, we have in India a very well skilled workforce available. We have the potential. So, from the society side, our engineers, software professionals, the management people are having enough opportunities for them. So I see it as a very big positive move forward.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you very much. Mr. Muralidhar, I think you have a manufacturing setup here that manufactures most of the elevator requirements in India. So what has been the impact of that? Has your numbers increased?
Actually, our market, it depends upon the growth of the construction industry, real estate sector. So with so many initiatives and schemes from the government, definitely the numbers and it has increased, the demand has grown, but with a lot of like with so many schemes from the government, like Pradhan Mantri Awas scheme and all these Amrut, then Swachh Bharat, all these things, definitely the demand has gone up. And with construction industry also, okay, except for this COVID period, now currently after this gap of COVID, it is actually now it started picking up. And because of this, definitely it is demand is it is better now that more numbers are coming up now.
Thank you, Mr. Muralidharan. Now, my next question is to Anurag and Subramaniam, who predominantly are manufacturing all their products in India. The general perception in the minds of people is that anything imported is of higher quality. How is this aspect going to be addressed, and what initiatives do you think are needed from the government side to change this kind of a mindset? First, I'll ask Anurag, then I'll go to Subramaniam.
Okay. So I think the public perception can be changed only after we match the quality standards of imported products. To make world-class products, we need to set world-class benchmarking pan industry. The Indian government needs to take an initiative to establish standards and codes that are mandatory to be applied by the manufacturer and user of the product. The quality standards must be in line with the latest technology trends and the safety standards worldwide. And at the national level, they should be made mandatory, and all the components that are used in the elevator must be asked for ISI hallmarking. Then only I believe that the perception in the public can be changed that the goods that are produced locally are equal or even better than the imported products. Because unless and until we make our own rules and regulations so stringent that the companies that manufacture these products here have to follow them, and the user of this product also need to follow, until then, just you cannot change the perception by like there would be one or two good companies making some good products, but it would not change the perception pan industry, because there is no set rules or standards that need to be followed. Everything is voluntary, and voluntary means that cost cutting, as per the user you make the adjustment. So all these things cannot change the public perception. So we need to work on these areas first, and government has a very big role to play in changing the public perception to make in India product an equal alternative to a product which is made in Europe or made in anywhere else in the world.
Thank you, Anurag. Now, Subramaniam, you taking a cue from what Anurag said, don't you think the government has already established systems and processes in place through Quality Council of India for certification of products, its processes and systems? And why not voluntarily manufacturing units start calling third-party product certification bodies like UL or Lloyds or somebody to certify the product, and then bring it in par with the international quality?
Yeah, I agree. Government has initiated, they have having some standard and norms already in place. But while we are comparing the international standards and norms, we are still little behind, and especially for the elevator industries. And recently, the BSI is changing towards the international standard. That means our existing IS standard for 14655 is getting replaced with ISO 8000, 101 and 2. This is almost equal to the EN 8120 working on. But we need additional support from the government, especially for the notified body available in Europe. So we need aggregated bodies certified by the government, so that there will be a third-party inspection is very much mandatory, especially for the elevator components. So if we consider the quality of the equipment and if you consider the safety of the equipment, it's a voluntarily we can, as a supplier, we can able to manufacture. But it is one of the key and one of the important thing is like, people, when they manufacture some goods, they maintain their own quality, their own the safety standard. But when we come to as a global or as an Indian, when we are working across the country, so we should have some standard, for the quality as well as the safety. So the standards are, now the government is working on, and the forcibly it has to be, come in effect. And at the same time, the government should, encourage more, aggregated bodies, so that the manufacturers should, go with those bodies, the certified bodies, to get satisfied their product, especially, like in Europe, there are many, notified bodies, authorized by the European members, so that, any product being manufactured will get a certificate through this notified body. Then only they can able to go to the market. Then only they can able to sell the product. So we want such a kind of a thing in our India. So we should have a certification, third party certification on each and every product, because we are into the vertical transportation, where the quality and the safety is the main concern for the product. And especially, while talking about this, in India, we started in 2012, and we figured out the importance of the global, the initiative and the Make in India concept. So our company has decided the putting up our R&D for the global, entire global. So our company is setting up the R&D locally. So we have already initiated for the Indian requirement through our local R&D, and we are also expanding our R&D network for a global setup. So that is what we are also looking at the government norms to follow, because the existing product is meeting the global norms. But we are also looking at the local bodies to certify our product to exactly match with our local requirement.
Thank you, Subramaniam. Arun, you are a global player. I think there is a responsibility on global organizations to come up with benchmark systems for locally manufactured products. What is the kind of systems that you foresee to remove the perception that anything that is made, even in your own product range, the people's perception is what is manufactured abroad by ThyssenKrupp or TK Elevators is a superior product than what is manufactured by TK Elevators in India?
Yeah, KK. So, adding to Anurag and Subramania, what I see is, the perception is changing now. When we talk about automobiles or mobile market or the consumer appliances system, Muralidhar would accept that, at mobile and the automobile industry, we have already matched the international standards. And I think same is happening with the global elevator and component manufacturers. So as Subramanian said, we all as a global player, apart from code compliance, always have our internal design guidelines, test and qualification guidelines, certification guidelines, the reliability test guidelines. So I think from the elevator and the component manufacturer at global level, I think things are placed and well within control, and there is always increased and consistent focus towards safety, quality, and reliability. Because we as elevator manufacturer, are playing with the lives of the people. So I think that focus is continuously there. But as Anurag said, when we talk about the codes and standards, I think they cannot be voluntary or recommendations. It has to be mandatory. And of course, like in China, we have the test certification, or they call type test certification. So as Subramania said, I think we need to set up those labs and the agencies who have that certification facilities available. And we have to make sure that whoever is the elevator company, small, big, even the small component manufacturer or big component manufacturers, I think we have to supply only the certified products. And at the same time, I would also urge the developer community that they have to also insist on the certified products. So I think we have a big work to go. And yes, of course, the ISO 8100 is a big welcome. And we hope in coming years, we will be having the things in place and we'll be able to, meet the international standards. So I'm very hopeful, but at the same time, we have a big work and responsibility to work on.
Thank you, Arun. Mr. Muralidhar, there is always the argument of what you call quality comes with cost. And to meet the international level of quality, do you think it is prudent to have a thinking of that sort?
No, because if actually its quality is when we make the quality products, actually cost is not at all a concern. It actually reduces because with more and more focus on actually when we see this mindset of the people that imported goods are more superior to the domestic goods, it's just a mindset of the people, and I think nowadays this mindset is not there much in our country, because with so many foreign companies coming into India, this mindset, I think it's reducing because actually most of the foreign companies coming into India, their R&D and along with our skill levels, I don't think there is this mindset is not going to be going to hinder our Make in India concept. We need to focus more on the skill level and the R&D. Once we do all this R&D and the skill levels, if we improve, then this mindset may not be there.
Thank you, Mr. Murali. And coming to again Subramaniam and Anurag, the next question is: technology is driving change in this country. Indian manufacturing, is it innovative enough to be in business, adapting technology? Are our enterprises supporting the concept of new technology being incorporated both in terms of the manufacturing systems as well as supply chain systems? What is your view on this, Anurag, first?
So I'll speak from the perspective from the sector in which we are operating in the Indian elevator industry. So the Indian lift companies that we usually are associated with are independent lift companies, which are homegrown. And until a few years, they were struggling to match their technology with the MNC lift companies in the sector. So they could not offer the kind of product that MNC lift companies could offer to the customers. However, with the inception of companies like Arkel and Monarch, now we are able to empower the Indian independent lift companies to upgrade their elevators with technology which is state of the art and which is in line with the latest technology available in the world, so that their elevators now can even go up to high rise up to 64 floors, and speed up to even 4 meters per second. We are talking about lifts which are digitally connected, smart, and talking to the passengers, their service staff, building managers, and other building systems. So we have seen that by empowering this Indian independent companies, what positive impact it has created. They are able to now match the product which is in line with global standards, and it is bringing results. I have seen some examples where Indian lift companies which have existed for decades are now able to back projects which was the home market of giant MNCs, huge projects. So that is something like a very positive change I see in the industry, that there is a level playing field which is now coming in, and technology is driving that change. The Indian entrepreneurs that are running these companies are definitely creative and flexible, so that they can offer a very fast economical service to the customers and thereby make a competitive advantage. So definitely I believe that technology is driving a change here.
Thank you, Anurag. Subramaniam, you have customers from the elevator industry who actually demand systems that are technology driven. So how far have you been able to adapt to such systems, and do you see this trend among your customers insisting that you adapt new systems and technologies to deliver your services and products?
Yeah, actually, exactly, because when we entered into the market in 2012, if you look at considering the MNCs, the international companies, definitely they invest more on the R&D, and they keep innovating the new thing, and they are always really on the leader side for giving the innovation solution to the customer. So when we came to the market, we were seeing the Indian customer, especially the small OEMs, they were struggling to cope up with the technology needed for Indian customers. So we definitely, yes, we brought the technology into the Indian market, and it has helped a lot for Indian OEMs, the small OEMs especially. And they were now, have a ability to match with the standard and the quality or even the technology as far as the controller section. They can able to offer such kind of a solution which is at par with the international standard and international elevators. So apart from this one, actually, if you look at especially in the age of exactly 10 years before, the Indian company is more focused to the geared application, and we were having the gearless because the MNCs already introduced the gearless application throughout their product range. Where an Indian player was struggling to bring this technology into their elevator, and they were working on the geared. But when we entered to the market, there was huge changes we can see, because they were lagging in the controller section, where they could not able to get the right controller to operate with the gearless application, and they were also having the difficulties to source the gearless machine. But now, exactly at now, we can see the technology has driven, the innovation has driven, especially on the gearless machine, and it is almost more than 50% changes with the Indian customer who has moved into the MRL solution as well as the gearless solution. So we have extensively supported the market, and not only the by Indian players and even the MNCs. So yeah, definitely that technology is a key focus. Ultimately the innovation and the technologies lies on the in our industrial, the elevator industry is mainly on the energy saving. So one of the key point we have to look at, and the user friendly, the equipment which the people are using must be more user friendly, and the current scenario of the COVID-19. So the innovation is always there in place for elevators. So that is the reason the new things are coming up, like traffic management with the destination control and the region drive on the elevator to get the energy saving, and the contactless solution for the elevator for user friendly and during the COVID time. And especially the nowadays we can see the design of the elevator has compact compared to the olden days, and the need for the machine room has reduced a lot. So this until bringing the technology and the innovation is always there, and it's taking a place now in India, and the Indian companies are, and they're also able to offer the good solution like MNs in India.
Thank you, Subramaniam. Arun, going forward on the same subject, a while ago you were mentioning that the demand for quality and quality products of made in India products have increased. You also mentioned the example of cars and mobile phones. But elevators are slightly different, in my opinion. Elevators are not off-the-shelf bought-out item. They require abundant planning. They require a lot of time for installation. They require a lot of involvement from both the client side as well as the vendor side. How do you think the technology would change the perception further on this Make in India products, elevator products?
Yeah, KK, as you rightly said, elevator is not a ready-to-use product. So it is a whole experience itself. Starting from the planning of the building to the servicing of the elevators. And I think in the developer community, there is a big maturity now, and people are demanding the technology products from us. And yeah, as I said, like in TK Elevator, I think we have the biggest portion, allotted for the R&D and the innovation side. And TK Elevator is known for innovative products. I think when we talk about the Make in India, I think biggest challenge what we are facing is maybe some of the suppliers are not still equipped with the latest technology and the manufacturing processes. And that leads to, maybe not the required standards of quality and also the price. Of course, when we talk about price, there is always a chicken and egg story. Maybe with Indian numbers, we don't have that business case which is giving the ROIs. But I think both the elevator companies and the component manufacturers have to kind of, work in a partnership way, where we'll be able to, grow together and develop the things locally in India with the help of the global support, and then we'll be able to deliver a safe, reliable, and quality products. And of course, the technology is the key now. So I think there is increased focus, and we all are working on it. But as I said, we also have to look at the safety at topmost.
Thank you, Arun. Mr. Muralidhar, technology does not come cheap. Technology is a requirement to deliver in these current competitive scenarios. What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, true. Technology is like, it's an investment, actually. We need to change along with the world, and we need to adopt to the latest techniques. Then only we'll be there in the market, and also it gives customer a lot of satisfaction. It's a sort of investment. The new products, the new technologies, all these are actually, these will lead to the cost reduction. In fact, the new products and the latest technologies, these are actually brought out. One of the reason why these are brought out is also the cost is reduced. Actually, with you take the service of the elevators, we have now the latest technology like remote monitoring systems. We can sit in our office and we can monitor all the systems, and before anything happens, we can find out what is the status of that unit and take the relevant action. The preventive action can be taken immediately. So these will only bring down the costs, and these are a sort of investment technology.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Murali. The next very important thing I would like to start with you. I know in a globalized market, it is very difficult to say that, okay, all my elevators are going to be 100% manufactured in India. It is not a very relevant thinking as well. But at some point of time, there should be products that is at least 90% manufactured in India. When do you think that would be possible?
Actually, now what is happening, elevator as such, though it's manufactured in India, some of the parts we are still importing from other countries, some of the parts. And some parts we import, we do the assembling here, or we consolidate and then use as such here. So we need to actually look for localizing all those sources, and we need to find out where we can really, in India, we need to take initiative and find out the relevant sources for all these parts so that we can reduce most of the imports.
Thank you, Mr. Murali.
Parts are available in India, but we need to find the right sources, and we need to develop those vendors to make these products.
So it again comes back to the same question of the perception of quality of manufacturing in India again.
Yes.
So Arun, you set up your factory in India with the intent of manufacturing most of your products. When do you think, not only from TK Elevators, but in general, the supplies of elevators in India, at least 90% would be manufactured products from India?
In my view, in general, I think we would need another 4 or 5 years, because as Muralidhar said, we are still dependent on some of the key components and raw materials on the international suppliers. And of course, to bring up to the quality and safety standards of the international level, I think we need that time. But I think, as Subramania and Anurag also said, all the component manufacturers and elevator manufacturers, they're working on it. And I'm very hopeful, Of course, we have to break that price topic, but I think soon we'll be able to do that with the good partnership with all the people.
Thank you. I think even though this question might be slightly off the track for Subramaniam and Anurag, still I would like to ask them. Even though you're component manufacturers, I think the component that you manufacture may also have substantial amount of imported components. So when do you think you can supply at least 90% India supplied, India manufactured product? First Subramaniam, then Anurag.
Yeah, actually, we are already working on that because as a component manufacturer, some of the parts we still rely on China to bring back. And it is now, since we have got enough volume to work on the Indian local manufacturing, especially the drive section, we are already working on that. And end of the year, we focus to have a assembly line, and especially for the drive section in India. So our target is definitely within a couple of years we should be able to cater the basic the elevators, which is catering for the residential building, which is 6 passenger, 8 passenger, 10 passenger elevators. Those units we want to make everything in India. That is what. But only thing is, still we may need to rely on the foreign countries, especially on semiconductors, because the government need to take an initiative for the semiconductor industries. At present, the semiconductor industry can focus on the like IT hardwares, not on the hardwares which currently we are working on. So I think, except the semiconductor, rest of the thing, I hope we can able to get 100% manufactured in India soon, and we can able to support the Indian customers in all the OEMs in India, so we can able to support them for bringing the 100% manufacturing in India units to them.
Thank you, Subramaniam. How about you, Anurag?
Yeah, so Made in India is our philosophy from the day of inception, as I said before. To achieve 90% localization is a big task, and it can be achieved when the Indian government takes the initiative to bring the large-scale electronic component manufacturing companies to India and are able to establish a global supply chain. However, as you know, under the Atmanirbhar scheme and other Make in India initiatives, Indian government is already launched such schemes like production link incentive schemes, which is targeting some key sectors. Electronics is one of them, where it is providing incentives to large-scale manufacturing companies to invest and set up their factories in India. And because of this reason, a lot of such companies, like in the mobile sector, if I say, like Foxconn, Wistron has come up and set up their factories here. And so for that reason, now big mobile phone companies like Apple have started to assemble their phones also here. So our area where we operate is the electronic sector. And to achieve 90% localization, we need the availability of electronic components. So the government, I think, has already now focused on that area. And I believe in 3 to 5 years, maybe the necessary infrastructure would be there that we can expand our current operations to localize the products that we supply to maybe even 90%. So we always would prefer to do that way.
Thank you, Anurag. Now, having heard all of us, I would like to ask each one of you, starting from Mr. Muralidhar, what are your top 5 priorities in terms of what the government's policy level decisions or the regulatory level requirements that would enhance or lead to Atmanirbhar manufacturing system of the elevator industry? Mr. Muralidhar, please list out your 5 top priorities.
Government, actually, they should, as far as regulatory things are concerned, actually they should make government they should not be like a regulator. They should leave the industry free to do the business. Actually, now the concentration is more on these compliances and so many regulations, so many things are there. If government can reduce these compliance aspects, then people will have a lot of time to concentrate on their business rather than concentrate more on so many regulatory compliance requirements. This is what we are expecting from the government as an initiative so that we concentrate more on the business rather than concentrating on so many of these compliances so much. That is what is taking a lot of time from the people.
Can you give the top 5 priorities on that? On what is that which is actually a pain point and that can be negated by the government? Top 5.
Even in the even our taxation related or our employee so many these laws, Companies Act, or you take GST or the income tax or these rules or the GDFT, customs indirect taxes, all these regulations, they can be they have to be again relooked and they have to be made more simpler. That is what is my this thing.
Thank you, Mr. Muralidhar. Arun, your take on that. What are your top 5 pressing issues that the government or the policymakers should look to further make the Atmanirbhar concept successful?
Yeah, of course, when we talk about Atmanirbhar Bharat, I think we have to make the codes mandatory, no recommendations. We have to develop the testing and certification agencies and bodies, who can certify our products. Of course, government has to give a boost to the small, medium component manufacturers, maybe in terms of ease of doing businesses and provide the quality infrastructure. Some way we need to have a regulatory body on raw material prices, especially on the steel, because when we compare the prices of India raw material and the China raw material, I think there is a big gap. And of course, by the way of some subsidies to the small and medium component manufacturers, I think they would be able to sustain in the competitive market. So I think these would be my key points.
Thank you, Varun. Subramaniam, your take, your top 5 pressing.
Yeah, the first point is Mr. Arun mentioned the codes and standard. The government should have, they should enforce this standard all across the India. So that must be standard codes all across India. That's one of the key point which I emphasis. And the second one, actually, still we know that still we rely on the semiconductor outside the foreign countries, and the government should accept that for some time till we get a sufficient semiconductor industry or the electronics industry set up in India. Till the time the government give us support to the industry, especially in the elevator industry, because it is not overnight time the government can do or any private company can do. So it definitely will take a long time and it needs more investment. So my concern, the second point is the government support on the electronics part supplier or especially the semiconductor manufacturer, even whether it may be imported or to start in India. So that is one of the key point. And the another one, like the industry is struggling really due to the COVID reason, we are struggling. Definitely, everyone should accept. But now, last 3 months, it is much better than the earlier scenario. So everybody is now optimistic on the recovery path, and the support from the government, as especially they have the recently on the COVID time, they have the economic package they have released around 20 lakh crore to the entire India, including the industries also. So the effective useness on the the economic package to the elevator industry also, and especially the real estate industry, is one of the key point which the government has to enforce to reach out the real the supplier as well as the user, buyer, everybody. So that the government has to focus, and they have to be get a feedback from the industry and to confirm that it has been reached effectively to the till the user end. Yes.
Thank you, Subramaniam. Anurag, your take on that, your top 5 priority areas.
So I think most of the things are covered by the panelists already. What I would like to stress here is that if the government can recognize the elevator industry also as one of the areas or sectors to focus on, maybe it can help to have more reality on the Make in India initiative. So like, I talked about this PLI scheme, which is focusing on 10 key sectors. Electronics is of course one of them, which will help us indirectly as a electronic controller manufacturer. But for the industry as a in general, for including all the elevator component manufacturers, if they can also include elevator as one of the key sectors to who will get the benefit of this PLI scheme. Or maybe there may be some designated manufacturing parks, where there are some benefits for the companies to invest and produce the lift components locally here. Then a lot of lift component manufacturing companies can come here and set up their business and can use it as a hub to not only cater to the Indian industry, but as well as an export hub for the full Southeast Asian markets. So there would be a need from the government to take such initiatives to recognize Indian elevator as a area, as a sector that can be developed, not only for the domestic sector, because it is so much linked to the real estate, but as well as use it as an export hub for the Southeast Asian countries. So this type of initiatives would be required to make this a reality.
Thank you, Anurag. See, in my opinion, even though the Make in India campaign started sometime in 2014 September, the COVID-19 is what has driven the need for Make in India products soar higher. Do you think this was the right reason for the increase in the demand for Make in India products, or is there anything else beyond? I will start with Anurag and then go ahead.
So pan-India awareness about Atmanirbhar Bharat or Make in India initiatives by the Indian government is already there. Every citizen is supporting these initiatives that Indian government has taken. And the demand for Make in India products is increasing on a daily basis. So the developers have started to ask for elevators with Make in India components. And in turn, the lift companies are obliging by asking or by preferring the Indian lift component manufacturing in vis-a-vis to imported alternatives. So this has helped the Indian lift companies for a increase in demand for their products, and there is a boost and to a certain extent revival. So as Subramania was also saying, since last few months the growth has picked up, and we see that there is a revival of the industry, and I hope that this will continue in this way. And with the accelerated vaccination program that is ongoing, we would avoid the second wave that also is a scareful thought. So looking at overall things, the industry is now coming back to terms, and I think there is a revival.
Thank you, Anurag. Subramaniam, what do you think? The pandemic actually accelerated the Make in India requirement?
Yeah, definitely. Not only the pandemic, even the government after the due to the COVID, the government also more focused to this, and we are seeing the definitely from the customer that they are more focused to demand for the Make in India product, and we are also getting a good response when we make a product with the Make in India, and it is one of the key factor. In the future it will be more focused for our industry to support the Indian OEMs and even the international OEMs. And this Make in India concept is, yeah, definitely it's boosting your sales, and definitely it is going the right path to be in the industry, upcoming industry.
Thank you, Subramanian. Mr. Muralidhar, Made in India products are supposed to be cost efficient and supposed to be faster in terms of delivery. Do you think the need for such initiatives is very important for the growth of the economy in the country?
Yes, definitely. It will. One is by make in India products and by localizing all our components and all our manufacturing in India, it definitely will bring down the cost. Then it will generate a lot of employment opportunities. It will increase our GDP. It will lead to our economic growth. And so these are all advantages there.
Thank you, Mr. Murali. Arun, what is your take on that?
Yeah, I think most of the points are covered by my co-panelists, but of course, the COVID-19 was a big eye-opener, and that proved that we cannot afford to have too much dependencies on the international suppliers. And when India is such a big country, we even cannot afford to, have that dependency in general also. So I think with Make in India a program in place and the companies working towards that direction, it would definitely support to grow India at a bigger level. And as Murli said, it also brings in much of the employment opportunities also. And at the same time, if you see from the builders or the developer side, they are also benefited with the reduced lead time and immediate supply of the spare parts. So, the whole cycle time of the process can be reduced with the Made in India components.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you very much. I think to summarize, the Made in India products are being welcomed, with open arms. But there is a very important requirement of it being certified by third parties. First thing. Second thing, codes that are governing all these products should be made compulsory rather than being recommendatory. Then the government needs to support MSMEs, especially in the electronic component manufacturing sector, with a lot of incentives, so that they not only recognize electronics as a mere supplier of IT-related products, rather than it also supports the other industries. Then we have to also recognize elevator as one of the core industry employment generators, because you have such a huge man force, that handles both installation, maintenance, and other related aspects apart from manufacturing. I think thank you very much, and it was very insightful. I think I hope in the next coming 5-6 years, India will become fully self-sufficient and start manufacturing at least 90% of the elevator requirements of the country. Thank you very much. Over to you, Anita.
Thank you, everyone. It was really interesting to hear all your point of views, and I'm sure everyone who's attending got great insights. I also would like to add that, like you all said, that the industry needs to be represented well, whether to the government or to attract, interest of the international companies to come to India. We definitely feel opportunities like this, events like this, and, these kind of things really elevate the status of the country and bring investments to India. So we are happy to contribute in a small way from our side, and we will continue to keep doing that and have more international companies to come to India and set up the complete facility here. So thank you so much for all your support and contribution in making this knowledge forum beneficial for everyone. And we hope to connect with you soon again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you.